Hari Om, everyone. Welcome to this spacious and a wonderful week ahead. And it's so spacious because our beloved Swamiji is with us. So we're so happy to have him. So before we start the program, so I would like Sumati to sing the invocation song. Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano, Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano, Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano, Sharano. Kamala Sati Mukha Kamala Kamala Hita Kamala Priya Kamalekshana Kamala Sati Mukha Kamala Kamala Hita Kamala Priya Kamalekshana Kamalasanaita Garuda Gamana Shri Kamalanabani Pada Kamalame Sharano Kamalasanaita Garuda Gamana Shri Kamalanabani Pada Kamalame Sharano Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano, Sharano. Paramayogi Jana Bhagadeya Shri Paramapurusha Paratpara Paramayogi Jana Bhagadeya Shri Paramapurusha Paratpara Paramatma Paramatma Paramanurupa Shri Tiruvenkatagiri Deva Paramatma Paramanurupa Shri Tiruvenkatagiri Deva Sharano Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano, Sriman-Narayana, 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 Sripadame Sharano. Sharano. Before I turn it over to Jyoti ji, just a quick housekeeping announcements. Please do silence your phones. And I do not believe anyone is new here, but The restrooms are behind here. Only request I have is you can go around. The door over, the back door is open. So if you need to leave, leave over to the back side and go around. It's beautiful outside. It's not raining. So you could actually take a few steps and then go outside. And that way we're not actually disturbing and inside. Okay. If you do not know where the restrooms are, ask me and, I can show you. And I know no one needs Swamiji over here, he doesn't need an introduction, but just like Sri Ramachandraji, he's going to be talking. We never get tired of listening again and again and again. So Jyotiji, if you would.
Pranam Swamiji. Hari Om, everyone. Hari Om. And welcome to our week of devotion and inspiration at the feet of our Pujya Swami Prakashanandaji. Swamiji is no stranger to any of us, so the introduction will be very brief today. Our Pujya Swamiji is the resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago, which is more than just a Chinmaya Mission Center and a mandir. It is also home to our Chinmaya Vidyalaya, the first ever Vidyalaya established out of Bharat for our Chinmaya. Our Chinmaya Vidyalaya serves little children from kindergarten all the way up to high school, 12th grade. And it is a beauty to see Swamiji's influence on these young minds through this endeavor. I will give an example of the effect that this Vidyalaya has to show Swamiji's caliber in everything, in every endeavor that Swamiji takes up. This campus hosts from the youngest to the eldest of minds that interact so beautifully. It boasts one of the highest educational levels within Trinidad, standing proud amongst the most prestigious high schools to graduate from. And not just because of the excellent level of academia, but because of the spiritual education infused into the children at this campus. It is a campus where not only academics are taught, but by example, the children learn morality, not only in the classroom, but to see teachers not sitting in the staff room, but recess and lunchtime walking amongst the children, building a bond with them, ensuring no bullying or anything like that happens. Volunteers who don't even receive a salary but will show up every single day to do seva, because the Vidyalaya is an ashram. This is the caliber of what our Swamiji produces. And not just in the Vidyalaya, but in every single endeavor Swamiji takes up. So if you have not seen it yet, you will over these next 6 nights as we enjoy the gems of Sri Ramcharitmanas at that same caliber from and at the feet of our Pujya Swami Prakashanandaji. So join me in welcoming our Pujya Swamiji.
Sound. Yeah. Sound. Yeah, this thing is sound. Hari Om. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hari Om. Hari Om. To bring this microphone here. Exactly. Bring this microphone stand and everything. Sound check. Hari Om. Sound check. Hari Om. Better? Okay. Sound. We'll do salutations to Bhagwan Ganesh, Saraswati Maya, Gurudev, Bhagwan Shri Ram, Hanumanji. If you know these mantras, please join us. Gajananam Bhutaganatissevitam Kapit Jambu Halsa Bhakshanam Umasutam Shokavinaşaka Namami Vighneshwar Pankajam या कुंदेन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदन्नमण्डित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषज्ञान्या महा समस्त जन कल्याण निरतम करुणा नमामि चिन्मयं देवं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मवेद्वरम् लोकाभिराम रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् कारुण्यरूपम् करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगम् जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां
धीमतां परेषाम् वातात्मजं वा नरयूथमोख्यम् श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम। सब गाइए। राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा मंगल भवन मंगल हारी द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजीर बिहारी श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। रघुकुल रीति सदा चलिया प्राण जाए बरु बचन न जाए। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। बिनु सतसंग विवेक न होई राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। होई ही सो होई जो राम रचिरा को कर तर्क बढ़ावे साखा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो। राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 हरे राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Okay, so today we'll reflect a little bit about a wonderful theme which runs through the Bhagavad Gita and which also runs through the Ramcharitmanas. And I'll show you, it is running through the whole spine of Sanatana Dharma. And just to show you, I'll chant some. Try to repeat after me. जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण 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 जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण। इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण द्वंद्व मोहेन भारत Jai Shri Krishna. Sarvabhutani sammoham. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Hare Krishna. Sarge Yanti Parantapa. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Yesham Kvantagatam Papam, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Janana Munkarmana, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Dvandva Nirmukta, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Dvandva Nirmukta, Jai Shri Krishna, Bhajante Mandradha Vrata, Jai Shri Krishna, Bhajante Mandradha Vrata, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Kanaya Lal ki Jai. Some people ask why in Ramayana they sing Krishna. So we say, you have a problem in your mind, they don't have any problem. Bhagavan Shri Krishna will not mind and Bhagavan Ram will not mind also. Ichha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, and this is 7th chapter. This phrase is coming and it comes several times in Bhagavad Gita. This is called as dvandva moha. And this dvandva means duality. Duality, what everybody knows. Sometimes we translate as the pairs of opposites, like that. Duality is a better translation. Dvandva. And I'll tell you later on how you'll see. Duality. And it says, we are all deluded by this duality. This is what the meaning is. Deluded by the duality. Born from what? Ichha, dvesha, likes and dislikes. Like that. See, all of us are like that. Today only when we were having lunch, we were talking about that. You give one person that dahi, he's from South India, he'll mix it with that rice nicely. And if he's from North India, he'll put sugar. Likes and? Yeah, everybody have their likes and dislikes. Every little thing. But what is the problem with that? There's a delusion that arises from that thing. And quickly, every human being feels, when he does this, that what I am doing is better than what he is doing. And if I like doing this thing in this way, and I understand that he likes doing it in that way, and we put a full stop there, then there's no delusion. But when we like something, we always feel that the other person should also like. This is a good message for all married people also. Look at that. People who are not married have to teach people who are married now. This is a very funny thing, I tell you. Anyway, this thing, this delusion is what is at the root of every problem that human beings have today. Because that fellow feels, you see, I'll show you. Now, I just told you from dahi and from an ordinary standpoint at lunchtime. But you take this same delusion and you put it where one person belongs to this religion and he thinks that whatever he's doing is right and what all those people are doing is wrong. And see where this has reached? There was based on this thing. And it's all right there. This dvandva, this duality. And there's me and you. And there are the things which I like. And there are the things which you like. And I always feel you should like what I like. And you feel, and same, you feel I should like what you like. So he said, Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani, all beings. Sammoha means samyak moha. Means to say, in Trinidad and Guyana, we have nice phrases for these things. In Trinidad and Guyana, properly well deluded. That's the phrase we'll use down in the Caribbean and all. Properly well deluded. Not just deluded. Sometimes we'll say, he has a PhD in delusion. You know what is the meaning of PhD, right? PhD means permanent head damage. That delusion has made his head permanently. Anyway. And see, one more thing. The last phrase also very instructive. Bhagavan says, Sarge yanti parantapa. We are born this way. You did not create your delusion after we were born. We are born with that. So the child who is immediately, and now science also tells, by smell he knows his parents. And if some strange person picks him up. So there's a duality there. There's my parents. These people are not my parents. Me and mine, and you and yours. We are born with it. So actually it is this delusion at birth which we come with from our previous life. It is this thing that the Christian people took and created that phrase called original sin. Born with this thing. It did not happen along the way somewhere. Sarge yanti parantapa. Tesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. He says in the next verse. These two verses come together. But those people who have done a lot of punya karma, who have really gone through all the whole gamut of sadhana and vichar and all of that, have gone through all of this, they, dvandva mohena nirmuktaha, becoming free from the delusion of this duality, bhajante mam dhravataha. They worship me and only me. They think about me and only me and nothing else. Those are the people called jnani in the same chapter, because chaturvidha bhajante mam. So now, this duality is a big topic in Sanatana Dharma, Dvandva, and how we are caught. I'm sure all of you have heard it. See this. Chalti chaki dekh kar so diya kabira ro. Chalti chaki dekh kar so diya kabira ro. दो पाथन के बीचिया साबुत बचा न कोई कबीरा साबुत बचा न कोई चलती चाकी देख कर सो दिया कबीरा रो. The word Kabir Sahib is referring to the same duality. He went into somebody's house and he saw that chaki, you know, a stone turning like this. So there's one stone on the bottom and there's one stone on the top. And then they put that grain in the center there. So he said, any grain that gets in there, in Trinidad we say Ram Nam Satya. No saving for that fellow. He will be turned to powder. Yes, he'll be pulverized. Huh? He'll be pulverized. So we also come in this world, in this duality between these pairs of opposites, and we are pulverized. Because when you read the Smashan Ghat, powder only. Correct or not? Powder only. One little Christian boy came from the church and he had heard the preacher preaching, from dust we came and to dust we shall return, something like that they say, no? So he asked his mother, is it true? From dust we came and unto dust we shall return. Mother said, yes. He said, well, I just looked under the bed. Somebody is either coming or going. Because under the bed has so much dust with there. Anyway, so Kabir Sahib writes there that any grain that gets in between those two stones, finish. So we have come in between these pairs of opposites. I'm using that term very lightly, pairs of opposites. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna in the second chapter, all of you know, Sukha dukhe same kritva lava lavo jaya jayo tatho yuddhaya yudhyasva nevam papam avapsisi. You maintain your balance and equilibrium between sukha and dukkha, between gain and loss, between victory and defeat. Maintain your balance like that and do your duty, do your work. Then only we will not commit pap. So, this pap is committed then the moment we hang on any side. Because, now I'll tell you what Tulsidas ji says. See this in Ramcharitmanas. This comes in the Balkan. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Aguna Saguna Dui Brahma Sarupa. Shri Ram Jaya. Akhartha Agad Anadi Anupa. Shri Ram Jaya. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Jai Raghuram, Jai Sitaram, Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Aguna Saguna Dui Brahma Sarupa. Brahma, Paramatma, the absolute reality. Dui Sarupa has two Swarup. Two Swarup. This is Ramcharitmanas at its core. Aguna, Saguna. One is called what you ordinarily know as Saguna and Nirguna. Like that. Two Swarup. And now the next line says, both of them, both are Akatha, Agad, Anadi, Anupa. So now we say, whatever you are seeing here is this Saguna Rupa of Paramatma, right? Saguna Rupa. Of course, Nirguna, you know it is Akatha, means it is Anirvachaniya. Akatha means Anirvachaniya, means indescribable. Anadi, beginningless. Anupa, incomparable, like that. We can say about Nirguna, but Saguna we say, but no. It is not what you call Anupa, and it is not Akatha. We can speak about it. You know, science knows all about this world, right? So it's not Akatha, not Anirvachani. We can describe it, but actually, that is all false knowledge only. See, at another place he says, Charit Ram ke Saguna Bhavani तरकी न जाहि बुद्धि मन बानी। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। अस विचारी जय परम विरागी। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। राम ही भजहि तर्क सब त्यागी। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। Bhagavan Shiva is telling to Parvati ji, this is Saguna Ram has manifested as all of this. The Lord himself was manifested as all of this. He said, even this is Tarki na jahi buddhi man bani. This also cannot be conceived of, cannot be known by our buddhi, man and bani, speech, beyond our body, speech and mind and everything. Like even this world, manifested world which is in front of us. Actually, science is totally baffled about many, many things right now. And they have a lot of theories and they go on changing every 5-10 years. All the theories and all that kind of thing. And religion has not helped. Western religions have not helped. People fail to study the Vedas. That's the problem. Western religions tell that this world was created 6,000 years ago by some god sitting in the sky. But the Vedas, the Upanishads and all long ago told all the truisms about this sansar, about this world. But nobody wants to study because a little bit difficult now. People like to study easy. That is why fast food is more popular than good food. Everybody like everything easy and fast. Yeah. So in the same way, because this fundamental teachings are there in the Upanishads and all, nobody wants to study because it takes effort for that thing. But the easy thing and all, people go quickly for that. But anyway, Tulsidas is telling that even this manifested universe, which we see in front of us, cannot be figured out. And whatever happens in the universe cannot be figured out. I'll give you a million things right now that you could never figure out. Nobody can tell, and nobody knows why you are that height, 5 feet 2. The other fellow is 6 feet. Tell? No amount of science also. Huh? Some phone is ringing. Or just now we are talking about likes and dislikes. Nah? So even if I like imli balls, right? And you like pera, who could explain? All we say, I just like it. And you just like that. We cannot explain it. You may come up with theories and all that kind of thing. And now, see, even when they go deep down into what we call the particle physics and all that, right? Deeper quantum physics and all. Now they say sometimes those subatomic particles, they behave like waves. And sometimes they behave like particles. So at that level, they're trying to figure out things. And they're coming up with all sorts of wonderful things. It's very entertaining also. But the idea is, it will not be figured out. You know why? There's a very simple reason. This universe cannot be figured out. There's a very simple reason. Look here. This Prakriti is called as Vyaya Prakriti. Vyaya, you know the meaning? Vyaya means changing, right? Vyaya Prakriti. And it is resting on something which is Avyaya, right? And we are trying to figure out Vyaya Prakriti. But see the contradiction in that now. By the time I figure it out, it has changed. Second thing is, the one who is figuring, he also has changed. There's a double whammy. So how a changing thing will figure out another changing thing? That is not possible. So here we say, oh, the two Swarupa Paramatma are there, this Vyaya Prakriti and the Avyaya Paramatma, which Tulsidas is Saguna and Aguna. He calls Aguna Saguna. Nirguna and Sagun, like that. And therefore he says the both are Akatha, Agad, Anadi, Anupa. Akatha means Anirvachaniya. This world also, because we cannot figure it out, we will never be able to describe. How you will tell? The moment you say it is a particle, which other fellows say, no, it is a wave. This fellow says it's a wave, and he says, no, it's a particle. So now, this type of duality, this type of dualistic Prakriti is what we have found ourselves. We have found ourselves between these two wheels now, changing and unchanging. And what exactly is there in this changing and unchanging? Really, it is our mind. In front of the mind is changing, and behind the mind is unchanging. But this is where we are. We are stuck right in the middle. In Sundarkand, he gives a very famous verse. See this. All of you will be knowing. Sumati kumati sabke ur नाथ पुराण निगम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जहाँ सुमति तहाँ संपत्ति नाना श्री राम जय राम जहाँ कुमति तहाँ विपत्ति निदाना श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. He starts from the beginning telling about this duality and these two wheels between which we have found ourselves. And then Sundarkand, he says that Sumati and Kumati is there in everybody. Sabke ur rahe. Not in one person or few people. And Jaha Sumati, Taha Sampati Nana. Jaha Kumati, Taha Vipati Nidana. It means, so now, our mind is right smack in the middle between the changing Vyaya Prakriti and the Avyaya Paramatma. Mind is right in middle. And now that mind has an opportunity to turn out or to turn in. But what is the problem with that mind? Paranchi khani vyatrena swayambhu. Tasmat parang pashyati nanda ratma. This mind is born with the defect which we are talking about, Sarge Yanti Parantapa. Just now. The mind is born with the defect of only going out. And this fellow does not want to go in. Because that is not mission impossible, that is suicidal mission. Huh? When he goes in, Mano, Nash, yes, he doesn't want to go in. Because who wants, So now, when that mind is turned in, that is called as Sumati. When it is turned out, it is called as Kumati. This is one explanation of the Sumati, Kumati. There are others. Another way, if you're just dealing with it at a superficial level on the outside, Sumati is choosing dharma. Kumati is choosing adharma in the outside world itself. We'll come back to that just now. So now, this duality which the human being has found himself in is there in all things, everywhere around. And then now we have to start really on the outside. So I'm talking about the mind is there smack in the middle of Saguna and Aguna. The mind is smack in the middle there. But for most people in this world, we tell like that. He says, Swamiji, what are you telling? My mind is there in Australia right now. Mind is gone somewhere else, you see. See how intricate. I want to show you some more intricacies Tulsidas ji writes about this involvement in this duality. He tells, Kahi Ved Itihas Purana Shri Ram Jaya 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 Vidhi Prapanch Guna Avaguna Sana Shri Ram Jaya दुख सुख पाप पुण्य दिन राति श्री राम जय राम साधु असाधु सुजाति कुजाति श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय रघुराम जय सीताराम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Kay Veda Itihasa Purana, Tulsidaji says, all the Vedas, the Itihasa Puranas, everything, they say, what they say? Vidhi Prapancha Guna Avaguna Sana. If you are from North India, or if you grew up in Trinidad, when people eat dal and rice and bhaji, long ago, they used to say, you have to sane that thing. When you mix these three of them, that word we used to use growing up. Sane, some sana in Hindi. So Tulsidaji is telling that the Lord made this universe by mixing like in that same way guna and avaguna. Wherever you will find one, you will find the other. You can look here. After you have mixed that dal and rice and that bhaji like that, can you separate after that? That thing cannot be separated after that. In the very same way, and now see, I'm telling you all of these verses because these simple chopais are all reflections of verses from Upanishads and everywhere in our Shastras, right? These are simple chaupais. But they profoundly explain Hindu cosmology, which is now being proven daily by science. So I'll tell you, this mixing of guna and avaguna is so intricate and so inseparable that in one thing you have both. In other words, that one thing is both. It is not that the first sentence is actually misleading. In one thing you have both. It is one thing is both. Because it is the same Brahma who is Nirgun and also Sagun. So now like this. In this world, there is no such thing as positive or negative, means only one by itself. It is positive or negative in relation to something else. It is hot or cold in relation to something else. So now, when we say like that, if we say this thing is hot, that can only be hot in relation to something cold. If we say it is cold, it can only be cold in relation to something hot. So by itself, it is neither or both in one. Now science also is proving all of these things. That is why it is saying that the subatomic particle is a particle and a wave at the same time. It is both, depending on how you are looking. So now, he said, this is the way Paramatma constructed his Paramatma manifested as this universe. That is so intricately mixed up is guna and avaguna. And now, this is the samsara we have all found ourselves in. So this is samsara. The samsara which is made up of this duality, and all of us are caught up in it, and some of us like this half of it, and some of us like that half of it. And in that samsara, what to do? Well, Tulsidaji says, we have to become. I'm telling all of this first, before we can get to the point where we can see our mind sitting right smack in the middle of Saguna and Aguna. This part has to be first figured out. Otherwise, we'll not, you will sit there. When you sit there and you start, so Amji said, my mind is right in the smack in the middle. Which middle? And the moment you start talking about that, oh, some other thought will come now. Better I call this person and find out. And now you go and pick up your phone to call. Tell me exactly what Swamiji said. That's what you're calling to find out, right? So you pick up the phone. When you pick up the phone, you see 5 notifications now. No, everybody knows what I'm talking about. See, I'm pulling strings all the way down to the back. So you see 5 notification. Now you go on there to see notification. Then those notifications take you, a whole totally different thing now. And one of the notifications from Walmart, your car expired. Or something like that, whatever. So then now your mind tells this is urgent. Then you forget about Aguna, Saguna and all that kind of thing. Now you're thinking about. So now we have to deal with this thing at a very ordinary level first. So now Tulsidaji says in Doha, in this same portion, all of this coming in Balkan in the beginning, where he explains so nicely all Hindu cosmology, and it has to be studied. You know what one of the problem is? One of the problem is, have you heard people say, cheap thing no good and good thing no cheap? Have you heard? And there are many times I have heard people say, no, don't give it free. They will take it for granted. Charge some money. Have you heard? I've heard that many times. Don't give it free, they'll take it for granted. Because human beings have a habit of overlooking simple things and they want highfalutin things. Have you seen? Yes, we have a habit. But I'm telling you, in the simplest of chopai, in the simplest of words that come out from the village words, which is all what you call prakrit, colloquial, and the most profound philosophical ideas of the Upanishad, they're all caught right there. And we usually overlook the ordinary because we want to become extraordinary. And what we end up becoming extra and no ordinary also. But in this ordinary or simple words and all, everything is there. Now in the Doha, just as you come down there, what he tells, very nicely he says, Jar chetan gun doshamaya Beswakin karta O Rama Beswakin karta Sant hams gun gahai paya परिहरि बारी विकार सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम जड़ चेतन गुण दोषमय विश्वकीन करतार Paramatma has mixed the universe like this, Jada and Chetan. Jada Chetan, you know, with sentient and insentient. Or insentient and sentient, if you go in the same order. Insentient and sentient. Then Guna Dosha means good and bad. Effective and defective. Guna Dosh. The whole universe, he says. Then next line. This is our operative line. What is that? Sant Hamsa Guna Gai Paya Parihari Bari Vikar. The saint or the saintly person or the real sadhak, the real spiritual aspirant, he is like a Hamsa bird. What he does? From this mixed up universe, which is really well mixed up, like milk and water, what he does, he separates the milk and takes the milk alone, which is guna, and the water he leaves it aside, which is dosha. The saint is the one, the real true sadhak is one who is like a hamsa, bird, who can separate the guna from the dosh, and take the guna and leave the dosha like that. So the sadhak has to spend his life doing this thing. And in the society in which we live, there is so much of opportunity to do this every moment of our life. The exemplar of the sant who is able to separate guna from dosh and take guna and leave dosh, take guna and leave avaguna. The exemplar in Ramayana is given in the Ayodhya Kand. Bharat hamsa rabi bans taraga janami na guna dosha vibhaga. Bhagwan Ram is speaking about Bharat and he's saying in our Ravi Vansh, in the Raghukul, Bharat hamsa ravi bans taraga. Bharat is the hamsa bird who could separate this dosh from guna, our guna. Guna from our guna. Janamiki inha guna dosha vibhaga. From birth. In other words, Bharat is the one who was not born. It's Sarge Yanti Parantapa we were talking about just now. Bharat was not born with delusion. Bhagwan Ramitali. Bharat hamsara vivansa taraga janamiki na guna dosha vibhaga. From birth itself, he could separate guna from dosh, guna from avaguna, like that. And this is what we have to strive for. And in our effort, life after life after life, we still cannot separate the two. But we have to become like that. Gahi gunakpaya. And he grabs the milk separated from the water. Taji avaguna bari. And he relinquishes the water, taking the milk. And this is what we have to spend our life doing. No. I want to just check my time. I want to tell you how or what we have to spend our life doing in order now to be able to develop the ability to separate milk from water or to separate guna from avaguna. In this Ramcharitmanas itself, Tulsidas ji writes, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya अस विवेक जब दे विधाता श्री राम जय तब तजितोष गुण ही मनुराता अस विवेक जब दे विधाता श्री राम जय तब तजितोष गुण ही मनुराता श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय रघुराम जय सीताराम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Again, it comes back to our Vedanta. This Ramcharitmanas has all our Vedanta. Nothing is missing. The ability to separate guna from avaguna, guna from dosha, asabibek jab devi dhata tavatajitosha. If we do not develop this viveka, we will never be able to relinquish this avaguna. This viveka has to be developed. Now in bhakti marg, when the person is a great bhakta, Bhagavan gives that vivek. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. In bhakti marg, one who is a good devotee, Bhagavan gives. But in Gyan marg, well, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Bhagavan himself will give. Dadami is in the first person. I will give. But in Gyan Marg, we have to develop that vivek. So now, the only way to separate this guna from this dosh is to develop vivek. Acha, theek hai. That is the only way to separate, is to develop vivek. Or how do we develop vivek? But we sang in the beginning. Binu sat sanga vivek na hoy. राम कृपा बेनु सोलभन सोई Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Syavar Ramachandra ki. Again, we back to satsang now, isn't it? And there's no joke about that thing. Huh? Hanumanji goes to Lanka and he meets Vibhishan. See this. Manu Mahatar Kakare Kapilaga Tehi Samaya Vibhishan Jaga Tehi San Hati Kari Hau Pehchani साधु ते होई न कारज हानि श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम यही सन हथी करिहु पहचानी by by any which way, by hook or crook, yena kena prakarena, I have to meet this sadhu. He has to meet Vibhishan. He must have satsang with Vibhishan. Because sadhu te hoi na karaja ani. From meeting a sadhu, meeting a saint, meeting Sadhu Babaji, meeting holy people, there can never ever be any loss. Even if that Sadhu Babaji hits you on the head, there will be gain from that also. There might be loss of something else, but there will be gain like that. A very interesting line there, right? Very interesting line. What he says? When Hanumanji went to Lanka, Vibhishan was sleeping. Huh? Now I tie a few of these verses which I just read for you. Huh? Vibhishan was sleeping. Because this line says, Tehi samay Vibhishan jaga. In Lanka, so Lanka is like this body. And it is situated in the middle of the ocean of samsara. Lanka is an island situated in the middle of the ocean. Na? It's like this body situated in the middle of the ocean of samsara. Please see this. And Sumati Kumati Sabke ur rahe inside. Everybody, there is Sumati and Kumati. Hanumanji goes to Lanka and Vibhishan is sleeping. And when he goes there, he wakes up Vibhishan. And Ravan goes there and wakes up Kumbhakaran. Correct or not? So Satsang Hanumanji wakes up Sumati Vibhishan. And Kusang Ravan wakes up Kumati Kumbhakaran. And in the only way we will be able to wake up Vibhishan Sumati inside of us is if we have Satsang Hanumanji. Satsang Ram. Otherwise, this world, this Prakriti outside, which is made up only of Kusang, will wake up only Kumati Kumbhakaran. Because both are there in the same Lanka. And one has to be woken up. And the world is designed in such a way. This world is designed like that. Huh? You please see, the world is designed only to wake up Kumbhakaran. I'm telling. Let me just give you a little example. See, in our Karika, there, it is explained very nicely that our life is supposed to be like this. Huh? This is how life is supposed to proceed. We are born in tamas. Just now we are telling, Sarge Yanti Parantapa is Moha. Born in tamas, because I don't know. These people tell me that they are my parents. We have no. We know or what? We don't know. It means we are born in pure tamas. I know tamas means he can't do anything also. Right there, he can't move also. Inertia. Mind inertia, body inertia, everything. So we are born in pure tamas. So we are supposed to move from tamas. And that's why the parents have to now, give discipline. Get up, boy. Wake up. Huh? The parents have to force him to get up, correct? Because it's tamas. So you have to force him to get from tamas to rajas. Huh? Wake up, boy. The early bird catches the worm. They come up with all sorts of nice things also to motivate him to, inspire him to get up. He said, Dad, that is exactly my point. You see what happened to that worm? He got up early. So he comes up with very good excuse also not to get up early. That father has to be very careful what he's telling also. So, the Karika is teaching from tamas, we have to move our life into rajas. And no, you cannot leapfrog. From tamas, you have to go to rajas. And from rajas, we go to sattva. And from sattva, we go gunatita. This is the teaching. And life is supposed to proceed like that. And the stages of life also, from brahmacharya to grihastha to vanaprastha to sannyas, all of these things, they are all aligned. So this is Sanatana Dharma, this is Vedic teaching, this is Karika, this is what we teach. Acha, theek hai. The world you are living in, this world today, is teaching. And you just tell me. I'll just, what they're telling now, right? Whatever little bit of sattva we have, let us use this little bit of sattva to figure out how to harness Prakriti and harness the nature and harness the fossil fuel and harness the electricity and the, what do you call it, the waterfalls and all the big bodies of water and dams and all of that. Harness everything and then harness all the information that human civilization has. You collect it and put it together in something called as AI and ChatGPT and all of the other things, right? You harness use whatever sattva you have, harness all of that and put them to work. And what you will do? Nothing. Brain gone, muscles gone, everything.
Yeah.
This is correct or not?
Yeah.
This is exactly what the whole species is going towards. Because the computers, the robots, the technology, everything, the AI and everything, they will do all the work. So we use whatever sattva to give rajas to all of these things, get the whole prakriti working, and what we'll do? I'll chill out. I will chill out by the beach. I'll go to Acapulco or some, Tahiti or something, and I will just chill there, do nothing. It means we are using whatever sattva to get to tamas. The whole species, this is the direction we are going in. Find out how to invest your money on Wall Street or invest it somewhere so that you will have nothing to do. This is a dream or not? So the whole species is teaching itself to dream to become tamasic, to dream to do nothing. If at the end there, oh yeah, I will have more time to meditate. If that was the goal, that would have been something different. But is that anybody's goal? No. Nobody has that goal. It's just I will do nothing. So now the Shastra is teaching this way. And the whole civilization is going that way. And that is why I'm telling you. The Prakriti, what is outside world, is the Ravan which will wake up in us, Kumbhakara, because Kumbhakara is sleeping all the time. The world is designed in such a way to wake up Kumbhakaran and not Vibhishan. So if we do not find ourselves in satsang like this on a daily basis, what is going to happen? Only Kumbhakaran will be woken up. Because Sumati, Kumati, sabke ur rahi. Both are there in everybody. So this satsang is the most important thing that we could find ourselves is here. Now one more thing about satsang. Look here. If you eat and you do not digest your food, what will happen? You will get indigestion. Indigestion is not a pleasant thing, isn't it? So that indigestion will cause trouble for you and for your whole family. Because wherever you are, when we start getting trouble, we become very generous also. We share our trouble with everybody very generously when we get there. So anyway, when we eat, when we ingest, that thing should also be digested, isn't it? In the same way, when we do Shravanam, when we do Mananam, and all of these things, and we reflect, in this Bhakti Marg of Ramcharitmanas, too many of the stories demonstrate that if we do not have satsang, that knowledge is never assimilated, because there is ingestion, there is digestion, there is also assimilation, there is metabolization, and then there is manifestation, isn't it? So if we do not find ourselves in satsang, all we are doing is collecting from shastras is ingestion and stop. It is in satsang where everything becomes digested, everything becomes assimilated, absorbed, assimilated, and metabolized, and then manifested. And that is demonstrated in the same Hanumanji and Vibhishan Katha. And this is the last thing I tell you. Ehi sanhati kari hau pehchani, same verse. Sadhu te hoi na karajhani. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Raghuram, Jaya Raghuram. Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Hanumanji insisted, I must have satsang with this Vibhishan. Now I'll tell you. Tulsidaji writes here in the Sundarkand. Ram Ankit Griha. Ram Ankit Griha means on his door, on Vibhishan's door, he had the bow and arrow of Bhagwan Ram. That means what? In whole of Lanka, nobody has this thing. Vibhishan is Kodanda of Bhagwan Ram, right? That I am a devotee of Ram. Boldly so. Boldly, I am a devotee of Ram. In some other Ramayana, somewhere, either in Eknathji's or somewhere I was reading, where when Hanumanji goes there and he meets Vibhishan, Tulsidaji doesn't write. He meets Vibhishan. He gets angry also with Vibhishan. Tulsidaji hints at it. He gets angry with Vibhishan. You claim to be a devotee of Bhagwan Ram, and Bhagwan's wife is kidnapped and brought here, and you are sitting and doing nothing. What devotee you are? It means to say, your bhakti has not yet ripened. Your bhakti has not yet become matured. And when bhakti matures, when bhakti ripens, it matures into seva. If I am just a devotee in my puja room and I am not doing seva anywhere, my bhakti is still very immature, unripe. Who wants unripe kela? So that is because you are there, akela. You have to now go out into the society and do some seva. I told now there are only two types of people. Those who do seva and those who watch and they say, wow. They don't do anything. So bhakti becomes matured, bhakti becomes ripened only when there is satsang. So whether it is Gyan Marg for the digestion of Gyan, or it is Bhakti Marg for the ripening of Bhakti, satsang again becomes the means, the sadhana. Satsang is the means. Because same Vibhishan, when he has this satsang with Hanumanji now for the first time, because he has nobody to have satsang with in Lanka. He's sitting there. The wife of Bhagwan Ram is stolen and brought there. He does nothing. But when he has this satsang, his bhakti, with all Rama, Ankita and all that Bhuvana, all that bhakti, that thing ripens into seva. He gets up and he marches into the court of Ravan and told Ravan, what you did was wrong. You let this Sita go. That is seva. But he same Vibhishan was sitting there all the time, nothing. That bhakti had not matured. You see? So whether it is Gyan Marg or Bhakti Marg, the means for the fructification of that Gyan and Bhakti is satsang. This is satsang and satsang, of course, today my topic is satsang. In the last Kanda, Uttar Kanda, Bhagwan Shiva himself prays to Bhagwan Ram. Prabhu, you give me satsang all the time. Kabir Sahib, somebody asked him one day, Baba, if you get chance to go to Vaikunt, you will go? No, I will not go. Why? Are Vaikunt, you see, Bhagwan is there in that Sheshanag, in the middle of in that Kshir Sagar, Lakshmi ji is there pressing, feet and all that kind of thing. Nobody could have satsang with him. They are alone, no satsang. I don't want to go to Vaikunt and all. I'll stay right here. I'll have satsang every day. So we can stay right here and have satsang. All right, this is the topic for today. Satsang. No, I don't know what topic I'll take tomorrow. I'm just going into Ramcharitmanas. Okay. All right. Now it is exact 8:30 in my time here. What you know? And Aarti also. Okay. Let us all stand for Aarti. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनिना वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुखसन कादि शेष अनुसारद वरनि पवन सुत कीरति आरती श्री राम कीरति कलित ललित सियपी गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छो शास्त्र तब ग्रंथन को रस मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश संपत सब आरती श्री तावत् संतत संभवामि अरुघत संभव निवेद्यामि। व्यास आदि कवि वर जब खानी काग भुषुंड गरुड़ के आरती श्री राम कीरति कलित ललित सियति कलिमल हरनि विषय रस प्रीति सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबति दलन रोग भव मूढ़ि तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सियति आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सियति श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। और भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पदे हर हर महादेव।